We will repeat. I'm very glad to welcome all of you here for this first gathering on discussing Bhagavad Gita. I would have one small request to you, if possible. Please switch on your videos so I can see the people we are talking to. Yeah, but this will be more interaction. We are supposed to have discussion here. It's not a class or something like that. So it will be a more personal encounter than this personal discussion if we can see each other. Hare Krishna, welcome to this gathering. I'm very glad to see you all. And this is our first meeting, but we will start as it usually takes. I will sing. I will sing Jai Radha and we will start discussing them. Or this will be more like Gatha on Bhagavad Gita than than a course on Bhagavad Gita, because we are not giving any certificates or anything like that. We want simply to better understand what is there written in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so let's get started. Also, give me your blessings, because I'm a scholar like you all are. So for me, it's not also, this is a challenge for me as well. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jannavalabha, Jaya Girivaradari, Jaya Gopi Jannavalabha, Jaya Girivaradari, Yashodanana Braja Jannaranjana, Yashodanana Braja Jannaranjana, Yamunatira Vanachari, Yamunatira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jannavalabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jannavalabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Yashodanana Braja Jannaranjana, Yashodanana Braja Jannaranjana, Yamunatira Vanachari, Yamunatira Avanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamahyam Padati Swam Padantikam Vanchakalpatarupyascha kripasindupya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna again. Let's get started. Uh, I will, make some small introduction because this book, Bhagavad Gita, um, is a very important book. Even its a name already tells us a lot. This is the Bhagavad Gita. You all know that is translated as the Song of the God. So this is the book that the God himself narrates to us. The main narrator in this book is Krishna himself, Krishna, and this is the conversation, very elevated spiritual conversation that takes place between Krishna and his eternal friend and eternal associate Arjuna, uh, who uh, who represents actually the mm, he is a representation of Jiva, who is a pure devotee of Krishna. So, and in this conversation, we learned quite a lot. We first of all should comprehend that Bhagavad Gita is not an ordinary philosophical book. It's an Apurusheya, it's Shruti, it's the eternal knowledge that is given to us, that comes from above and that cannot be altered. And this book is talks about, so to say, five fundamental things that is essential for our understanding. These things are the soul itself, or the consciousness, the soul, which all of us, we are the souls, and even and Krishna in Bhagavad Gita reveals what does that mean to be a soul. He tells us that the soul is eternal, that it is it's Satchitananda, it's eternal, it's all knowledgeable and blissful. And we also have the experience of that actually in our lives. Yeah, we know somewhere deep inside that we are souls, and that the souls, and that we in this life go through certain transformations. But like we get born, our body develops, ages, but the internal me remains the same. So that is exactly the soul. This second major theme that Krishna reveals here is the super soul. This is Krishna himself. He is the super soul that transfixes the entire creation, and who maintains and controls it. Another aspect described here is karma. This is the law of cause and result, and karma is actually translated as activity. And soul, by its nature, is very active. It has moves all the time, but it has to follow certain rules to act properly. And yeah, the another aspect that the Gita is talking about is also time. That in material world, everything obeys to this principle of time. There are certain cycles that the time is unfolding in, like birth and death, and we can observe that as well in our everyday life. And the fifth most important fundamental thing that it also describes is the modes of material nature. Krishna reveals here how these modes operate. And we need to understand that in order to comprehend Bhagavad Gita. These are actually, the Bhagavad Gita is not a philosophy. It is a science. It's a foundation of the life. So if we want to master our lives, we have to deeply understand Bhagavad Gita. So this is very shortly about the importance of Gita in our lives. And now we have decided to talk about Gita chapter by chapter. So the first chapter talks about let me have a look at the name of the chapter. It is entitled observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Well, to understand that, we first of all need to understand that the Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata, and Mahabharata is the history of humankind. There, it is described how the rulers of Bharatavarsha then were the dynasty of Kuru. And in that dynasty, we had it was divided into two camps. there was the elder brother, Dhritarashtra, who was supposed by the rules of by the laws of the kingdom was supposed to be to become a king, but he also, by the same laws of kingdom, could not become a king because he was blind by nature, and a blind king cannot lead his people. So thus Pandu, his brother, who was saintly, a person, became a king, but he died quite early while his children were young. So Dhritarashtra, by the mm, by fate, he became a ruler of the dynasty of this kingdom until these Pandu sons would grow up. However, Dhritarashtra's ambitions were to make his own son, Duryodhana, the ruler, the king. We also have to remember that the sons of these brothers were very different in nature. Dhritarashtra's sons, Kauravas, they were of demoniac nature, while Pandavas, they were saintly and they were more appropriate in order to rule the world. So, and there were an attempts from Kauravas to, get rid of Pandavas, and they wanted to take over ruling the country. So they organized quite a lot of mischiefs for Pandavas, and finally, all that opposition came to the moment where the war was inevitable. So Bhagavad Gita actually was told by Krishna to Arjuna exactly at the battlefield of Kurukshetra, before the battle started. So, at Kurukshetra, two armies have assembled, and both of those armies had very mighty warriors on their sides, but on the side of Pandavas, Krishna was standing on the sides of Pandavas, though he was not, he intentionally did not participate in that war as a warrior. He participated in it as the charioteer of Arjuna. And another moment I wanted to mention is that it starts with the conversation between Dhritarashtra, who is blind and cannot participate in the battle, and he's sitting in this his palace, and his secretary, Sanjaya, who possessed some, how to say it, special abilities. He could see and hear what was happening far away on the battlefield, and could retell everything to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was very, nervous because deep in his heart, he knew that he was not right, wanting his son to become the king, the emperor of the world. But his attachment to his sons and attachment to the power made him blind. he was literally blind, but he still wanted to fulfill his ambitions through his sons. And that's why he was not against this war. And he was hoping, despite the fact that he was quite learned person and knew if the supreme personality of Godhead is on the side of somebody, that side would win. And he knew that Krishna was on Pandava's side, but he still hoped that somehow his sons uh, would succeed. However, well, let's get back to the battlefield. So both armies are arranged already, ready to start the battle. Even the conches have been sounded already. And then Arjuna asks Krishna to bring his chariot in the middle of the battlefield to see his enemies. We will read some verses as well. And Arjuna addresses Krishna like that. O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Let me see those who come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. Having being addressed by like that by Arjuna, Krishna drew up the chariot in the midst of the armies, and in the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, "Just behold, Partha, all Kurus are assembled here." He mentions here Kurus, um, uh, and thus he reveals his own, nature to Arjuna, reminds him of his virtues. For Krishna, uh, sons of Dhritarashtra and sons of Pandu are the sons of one dynasty. He does not really distinguish between them because he is all merciful, and all of them I like his sons to him. But mentioning Kurus had an impact on Arjuna. And though he was kind of ready for the battle, now from this point of view, he started to see his enemy in a different light. He started to see his own kin among them. So, and let's continue reading. There Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers. When the son of Kunti Arjuna saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself, and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune of O Krishna, killer of Keshi." Here we should understand what is happening to Arjuna. Arjuna is a mighty warrior. He is a Maharashtra, Maharatra, so sorry. Maharatra means that he is such a mighty warrior that he can alone defeat an army consisting of 100,000 ordinary warriors. And for such a warrior, it is not um, customary to have this kind of feelings in front of a fight. Yeah, but Arjuna here, with this vision of um, relatives, he is filled with compassion. And that is the impact of the compassion that he feels right now that makes him speak like that and think like that. For us, it's quite easy to understand because in his place, none of us will be wanting to, kill our relatives and to fight with them in such a manner. Yeah. So, and this mood of Arjuna is quite understandable. And here, Krishna is revealing to Arjuna mm, the superior truth, um, which is the fact that all of present there at the battlefield are souls, and that their fate is already determined. Um, uh, and he also emphasizes in the Gita that he can reveal this knowledge to Arjuna because Arjuna is not envious and he is his devotee. So these virtues are very important for the understanding of deep knowledge that is buried in this Bhagavad Gita. Then Arjuna continues, I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsman in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom of happiness. Oh, Govinda, he addresses him like that. So we see that Arjuna uses different names here, addressing Krishna like Keshava, the killer of demon Keshi, Govinda, which means the master of all or source of all senses and feelings. And here he addresses Krishna with this name because he knows Krishna very well and he understands his virtues and since his feelings are disbalanced now, he addresses Krishna to help him stabilize his feelings with that purpose. He addresses him as Govinda. Actually, during Bhagavad Gita, during this narration, we can hear Arjuna addressing Krishna in different names. But these different names indicate different different aspects or different qualities of Krishna. So we should understand it in that way, not to get confused. So Arjuna continues. He says, "O Govinda, of what avail to us all a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield," meaning that they are fighting for a kingdom, but everybody who consists, from whom the kingdom is consisting, are here ready to sacrifice their lives, and they will get destroyed during this battle. So what the use of this fight? Then he continues, "O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandparents, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me. O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them, even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Here, Arjuna also reveals that he is aware of the existence of the three worlds. Actually, this is well, there are 14 gradations of the material world, of the material world. However, it can be um, put into three main categories, like higher planets, middle planets, and lower planets. Yeah, higher planets are heavenly planets. Middle planets are the planets to which our Earth is belonging, and the lower planets are hellish planets. From the planet of Earth, uh, the living entity has the ability uh, to travel to incarnate into either higher planets or lower planets, depending on what kind of karma it is creating while living on the earth. And Arjuna continues. He is starting to lament and is starting to, because of the fact that he now realizes that he has to struggle with his own family members and very close people, his elders, like his grandfather Bhishma, his teacher Dronacharya, and is providing the reasons to Krishna why he should not fight. And it's very important that we also understand these reasons. He starts to reason his condition like that. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra or our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune? And how could we be happy killing our kinsmen? Here he addresses Krishna as husband of the goddess of fortune. And it's not by chance that he mentions here the goddess of fortune, because in any battle, the fortune is most important. Without fortune, the success cannot be attained. And we also know that the goddess of fortune is very unstable. She easily disappears from our life. But wherever Krishna is, the goddess of fortune, the fortune is always there. So the fact that Krishna is on Pandava's side is again the indication that Pandava's side will succeed in this battle. Further on, Arjuna continues, "O Janardana, all this the men here he addresses him as a Janardana, and here it also is a hint. Janardana means that Krishna is refuge for shelter for every living entity. And thus, out of compassion, Arjuna is also making a hint to Krishna that he is supposed to be a shelter for Kauravas as well. So he says, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends. Why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? Here he also sees what he is talking about the further on. He will elaborate on the sinful reactions that this act will result in. Yeah. With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in religion. Here, Arjuna, uh, we should understand that in early years, in early era, the dynasties were very strong, and they were the dynasties were about giving spiritual knowledge to the descendants. So the ancestors and the seniors of the family, apart from um, uh, teaching their children, they were teaching some ordinary things to them, raising them up. They were also acting as their spiritual masters, the mothers and fathers and the elderly members of the families. However, this fact has changed recently, especially in Kali Yuga. This connection and this respect towards the elderly is diminishing. And here Arjuna hints at that when the dynasty will be destructed, the family tradition will vanquish. The family tradition is actually the tradition of is a religion itself, yeah, because the religion was maintained by the families, because the religion actually was the commandments or fundamental rules that the family should follow. And if these rules are not followed, then the total degradation will follow, and that will cause irreligion to become spread everywhere. Arjuna further continues, when a religion is prominent in the family of Krishna, the women of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood or descendant of Vishnu comes unwanted progeny. So I would like to emphasize here 2 points. Why Arjuna mentions that women will become polluted, because the sainthood of the family is very much dependent on the chastity of a woman. Only a chaste woman is capable of producing proper descendants. Unchaste women, they produce only unwanted progeny, as it is mentioned here. Unwanted progeny is actually a Varna Sankara. Varna Sankara, Varna means that it means color, it means some abilities, and literally translated, this will be a bad generation in a sense, a generation with bad qualities or faulty generation. Uh, uh, and how this faulty generation is born. Actually, this all is linked to um, the qualities of the people, of the family members. If the family is based on this, follow the fundamental laws and principles, they mm, um, cultivate love and trust, and the members of the family are chaste, and the sense gratification or sexual intercourse is taking place only with the purpose to give birth to this to the proper or elevated children, then this is not considered a sin. This is actually a godly act. But um, uh, uh, if this act is based on some lusty desires, then the generation will also be the next generation, or the children will also be lusty. They will not have divine qualities. They will be more oriented on self satisfaction, and will become egocentric. They will lose all these family ties, will not take care of their elderly, and will think only in male or female aspects of living. But that is not actually sufficient, because these gender attitudes or the gender qualities are present in any biological entity, yeah, like uh, animals, and birds. They also have the same lifestyles, in essence. They also have sexual intercourse in order to produce children. They have their homes, certain comfort. They treat equally tenderly their offsprings. They try to protect their offsprings if some, some threat is approaching. Similarly, the human beings can also do that. However, there is a fundamental difference between human beings and the animals. Animals do that on the level of instinct, and they don't really need to create families. It's only human beings who create families. And families are like the entities on which the religion is based, because in the family life, there is there exists certain responsibilities, certain responsibilities in front of the elderly, responsibilities in front of the family members, and that makes them human, and that makes the possibility for such a living entity to develop and to transcend this material material existence and become spiritual, to regain their initial nature, spiritual nature. Further on, Arjuna continues, an increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life, both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped by the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give the race to unwanted children. All kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. Here again, he emphasizes the importance of family tradition. And we also probably should dwell a little bit about that. Here, Arjuna very skillfully describes to us how degradation is happening. And it's important for us to understand the different these phases of degradation so that we can reverse them and try to, overcome them and to move in an opposite direction. Why the future generation is necessary also, yeah? Because we can, live pious lives and in this human body and leave certain heritage to our children. And why should we, actually, why should we care about having children in the first place? That's because in this lifetime, whether intentionally or unintentionally, even if we are pious, we still commit certain sins, which we are not capable of, or repent or to reverse. And if we produce a pious generation, proper progeny, this progeny is capable of relieving us from these sins. Well, the son is putra. Yeah, what does putra mean? It's not just my son. Putra means put is hell, and tra means reliever. Only the son, by conducting the Shraddha rituals, which is also a family tradition, can reveal the family member from all the sins conducted during this lifetime. So thus our descendants are linked to us with this capacity to help the previous generation to overcome these difficulties in while changing the bodies. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard my disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell. So, in other words, when these family traditions cease to exist, people actually are deprived of they are deprived of happiness. They already in this lifetime live in hellish conditions. So Arjuna is also questioning if Krishna is giving us this capacity to feel and to be happy, if we destroy through this war all these traditions, then what's the use of continuing living and obtaining this kingdom if well, we will only suffer afterwards? Alas, how strange is it that we are preparing to commit um, greatly sinful act, driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness. We are intent on killing our own kingsmen. Better for here, Arjuna says that mm, he does not really want to become similar to Kauravas, to forget all his saintly virtues and become demoniac like them, with this preparedness to kill his kinsmen. Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, will kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield. Here, Arjuna also shows the extent of his compassion. Uh, he uh, he is ready to sacrifice his life in order to avoid all this disaster that such a battle can bring upon the dynasty and the entire world, because then at that time the dynasty was ruling the entire world, the entire empire. Of course, Krishna will answer all his lamentation further on in Bhagavad Gita, but that will be described by in following lectures. Here, we have to understand, we have seen how lamentation and indecision and these doubts that the lamentation is igniting in our consciousness can pardon, destroy the potency even of such a mighty warrior as Arjuna was. Actually, this indecision is compared to demon Madhu, who is was mentioned by Arjuna earlier in his during his reasoning. Oh, well, I hope that I did not uh, you not tire you for with such a long description, and I hope that it was a little bit helpful in some way. Here, I think I will finish talking about this first chapter, and if we have any questions or, well, let's enter the discussion part of our meeting. If you want to add something or you have questions, please, you are welcome. Yes, Harinam Chandra, Charan Prabhu. We cannot hear you.
Oh, yes, sorry. Thank you very much, Mataji. Very good lecture. You always give the English class for someone else, or is just first time?
Well, I don't know. I used to work in English language, so
Very nice. Not only language perfect, and description of Bhagavad Gita, and such a nice, give nice class, and actually, I am amazed. Thank you very much for that. So now our conversation, I think, open for discussion, if maybe, because in India, someone in India
we were.
in this chat group chat. Someone in India is afford that. He afford that. So, but it's okay. I think Luca can control situation maybe 10, 15
Harinam,
minutes. We can finish up because they're also tired somewhere. Really next time will be. Yes,
Uh,
proper.
Harinam Charan Prabhu, the internet connection was somehow corrupted and we cannot hear you
Okay.
properly.
Could be. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, if you
Okay,
will
let the Indian student.
Mm.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
Your
can ask question. Yeah,
your
they
internet
can.
connection was not good, so we could not hear what you were saying. So if you switch off the
No.
video, the better
Yeah. Okay.
improve.
Almost I finished. Let others speak. Yeah, almost I finished. Thank you.
Please don't be shy. Let us um, plunge deep into the understanding of this chapter. It can be, elaborated quite a lot. Yeah, we touched upon different topics like the family traditions, the indecision, the devotion or to the Lord, the importance of all that. Um, so please be more active. It's always better to, discuss things together to better understand them. And also to better understand each other, because we all have our own experiences, and we can all see in our own manner how these truths that are described in Bhagavad Gita unfold in our own lives. Yeah. Yes, Tisha, please.
Yeah. So I was asking, how can we apply the message of chapter 1 in our professional or personal dilemmas?
These issues um, actually here we see in this first chapter that there are certain dilemmas in everybody's life. Yeah, we all possess these contradicting qualities. We all have saintly virtues and demoniac virtues, and those virtues are fighting in us, in our consciousness. Well, this chapter gives us very good illustration of how what are the demoniac attitudes are linked to, like they are based on greed, on lust, on the desire to gain power. They are basically selfish, self-oriented, and egocentric. And the godly teachers are more, merciful, more compassionate towards others, thinking about welfare of the entire creation. Well, we can start from the family, nation, but that expands. It covers the entire creation. And here is like the beginning of what dilemmas we are actually facing in our life. And of course, the example of Arjuna and Duryodhana, they are warriors. and that's their dharma. But here we can also derive that our dharma and is also linked to that. We in our lives have certain uh, um, inclinations, like some are more um, manager type, a leader type. Some have qualities that are more of, Vaishya type. Some are even higher than that. Yeah, the have Brahmanic set of mind, and the occupation that we are engaged in depends on our on the type of the mentality, on the type of the consciousness that we possess. And of course, we can use all these capacities provided to us because they are provided, they are given. Everything that we possess is given to us by Krishna, depending on what we deserve. Yeah, he is very just. He knows what is better for us, and he knows how to uh, lead us towards purification. So he gives us certain capacities, and we are supposed to implement them in our life. But how we are using those, for what purposes? Do we are we following some higher goals in our lives, or are we selfishly trying to create some benefit just for our family? That makes difference. Yeah, if we use all these capacities, vacation that we have, vocation meaning the what profession we are mastering. If we use that profession for the benefit of the humanity, then we are on a path to elevation. And further on in the Gita, it is described how these different capacities can be used in Krishna consciousness. But the most important thing is that we try always to maintain ourselves in Krishna consciousness, never to forget that everything that is surrounding us, even our bodies, are Krishna's creation. Even we ourselves, as souls, because we are not this body, we are the souls, eternal souls, we are parts and parcels of Krishna. So, and thus we are equal, we can possess all the qualities that Krishna has. He gives us this opportunity. We have access to that. But of course, we have to be, if we are under the influence of greed and envy and jealousy, and all those demoniac feelings, we won't be able to fully manifest those qualities that Krishna provides to us, because those demoniac qualities are an impediment. They actually pollute our consciousness. They hide Krishna from us, literally, and in consciousness again. We are becoming unable to to comprehend that. Actually, we become so convinced that we are this body, and that we have to, satisfy only the requirements and the needs and of this body, that we forget about where this body comes from, and that we are spiritual soul, that we are spiritual by nature. So this is our kind of a guidebook for us in our ordinary lives. Though it is told in a different language, however, we should try to understand it in a proper way. This is why we need the spiritual master, the person who has already realized um, uh, all those truths that are revealed through Bhagavad Gita, and who are living according what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Because this type of knowledge, it cannot be obtained only through reading or even through our experience. This is a different type of knowledge that it comes down. It's how to say, spiritual in nature, and material senses are not sufficient to comprehend that. Like you know, we even these material senses are limited in this material world, and we know that because even compared to the animals, the our vision is different, our hearing is different. Yeah, well, they can their hearing is wider, the hearing capacities and vision capacities. For instance, the eagle can see a small tiny mouse in the field from high above, thousands of meters above, and he can exactly hit his target. All that capacities are given to him by Krishna through material nature. Yeah, so this is very relevant for our everyday lives. Only we have to direct our consciousness into that particular, focus our consciousness in that direction. Yes, Pushpu Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Please accept my humble obeisances. So I have two questions. First question is we hear a lot of lectures, and there is a lot of Shravanam. We read a lot. How does one retain the information? Because I understand writing is one good method, but then how many times do I go back to what I have written and do the repetition? So I just want to ask that as a first question. Secondly, you described and scriptures describe the qualities of a demoniac person and the demoniac qualities that a person can possess. Now, if we know somebody who might possess those qualities, and it's not somebody who we ignore, but we want to ignore, or like we don't want to neglect them, we want to help them, how does one help?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, both questions are relevant naturally, and it's right. The repetition makes the knowledge, even in material respect, it deepens our knowledge. However, this is limited. It is the surrender to Krishna that help us in true realization. Yeah, well, we cannot because in this material world we operate with material senses, and material senses are limited. So even our memory is limited, and everything depends on Krishna. So if we surrender to Krishna with honestly, not just as a show off, yeah? If we truly desire Krishna to become to lead our everything in our life, then he will give us uh, uh, proper understanding, all the memory. He gives us everything. Uh, so we should more depend on Krishna's mercy here. And actually, we should more depend on the mercy of Krishna's devotees, because with our polluted consciousness, we don't have access to Krishna. We only can get that mercy from the realized soul who are already in his in relation with him. Yeah, and that's why it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells us, Trinadapi Sunichinata Rurabi Sahishnuna. Yeah, we have to surrender to in order to be able to get this mercy. We have to be very humble, and we yeah, can be only dasa anudasa. Yeah, only the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. We cannot directly serve him. This is one point. Another point is that yeah, we can see the demoniac features in other people, and we want to help them. But there's no way we can have an impact on other person's development if directly, because the spiritual development process is about self-realization. We should always remember the things that I see in others, these demoniac features that I see in others, is because I possess them, and that is why I'm capable of seeing them. Yeah, and we also should remind ourselves always that this material world is created as a reflection of the spiritual world. So whatever we see in others is a reflection of myself. So when I see something demoniac in others, I should think, okay, that I see that, it means that I am also capable of doing that, and I also possess that. Hence, first reaction when you acknowledge that you also have possessed that, you stop criticizing. Yeah, because when we are trying to so-called help somebody and highlighting their bad habits or bad features, it means that we are trying to, influence them, and we are trying to criticize them. At least they will perceive that as a criticism. But if we think that, okay, if I see that, that means that I am also capable of doing that, then this desire to criticize simply vanishes. Yeah, because I know myself better than others. Yeah, I know my proper intentions. Yeah, I don't want bad to anybody, but because but I cannot really notice what faults I possess. So if I see a fault in somebody else, that means that this fault exists in me. And I accept that fact that this fault exists in me. So knowing that I don't really want anything bad for others, but I still possess this fault, I can understand that others might be the same way. So the only way we can influence others is through purifying ourselves. Purifying ourselves means that we have to advance in the process of self-realization, meaning that we should realize that we are souls and not these bodies, that the soul is possessing all the godly energies that Krishna is possessing. And if we realize that we have this capacities, of course, not to the extent that Krishna has it, not quantitatively, but qualitatively, we are similar as the souls because we are parts and parcels of Krishna. So if we get self-realized like that, we will start act from this spiritual platform. We will start to act like souls and not like the bodies. And that is the best example that we can show, and that is the best impact that we can make on others, because that's how this world is working. Yeah, the similar attract similar. We all possess these qualities that Krishna has given to all of us as his parts and parcels. So we can feel that in ourselves. And when we try to emanate that qualities through purification, that qualities touch the heart of other people, and they also start to, they touch their heart and they start to realize that they also possess that. And then the desire emerges in their heart to be like you, and to behave like you. And this is how we can help, not through criticism or giving some, advices or directions. And this usually generates, it's counter effective because it's very often accepted as, accepted with animosity. Not everybody is ready to accept criticism. Only elevated souls can do that because they don't accept that as criticism. They accept as a hint that there is some fault with me. Oh, I should pay attention to that. Yeah, see the difference? Thank you for the
Thank
question.
you so much. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I think I have taken too much of your time. We were planning to have a 1 hour meeting, but it's been already an hour and almost half. So how do you feel? Do you want to continue, or we still have ahead? This is just the first meeting, and plenty of them ahead, and plenty of other issues to be discussed. So let us finish today if you are not against. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank everybody for joining us today, and hope to see you on the next meetings as well.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry. And this Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Kantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you
Hare
very
Krishna.